session. Thank you so much, sir. So I'm going to go over to our next speaker from Canada, Mrs. Jesmine Onyenkwu, Canadian-based productivity consultant and performance coach for business leaders and their teams. She's going to be speaking to us next. And please, Ma, you have the floor for 20 minutes. Let's try and manage time so that we can get a lot, because I see the questions coming in already. So let's try and manage the time. So over to you.
Thank you, Shola, for that introduction. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Mr. Alai Babatunde. Thank you, Auntie Joke. That's what I call her. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here to share with everybody. And that was a great first session. So I'm excited to share with you about the lawyer's well-being. That's what I've titled my session today, because sorry, I was accidentally muted. So I also work with professionals, even though my core practice is targeted at people who lead a business. And I can't wait to share with you today how, as lawyers, you can be more thriving, more flourishing, more empowered to live in a way that you are proud of your life, you know. So we're going to look at a couple of things today. Permit me to pull up my screen here. So this is a stress management workshop. I run an organization called the Organizing Academy. What we do there primarily is to empower leaders to be the most effective leaders out there in the world. Leadership is harder, and I believe that for those of you in the legal profession, you are leaders, you are in positions to make decisions and create solutions for people every day. So it gets harder to lead in the times that we're in, but I'm here to make leadership easier for you. So I was doing a couple of research before coming on here, and I realized that lawyers deal with a lot of depression, anxiety, and stress. I saw a lot of surveys, a lot of reports that lawyers are increasingly, I mean, the profession by itself carries its weight of stress and anxiety, but because of the changing landscape, because of the technological revolutions, because of the way that the professional landscape is changing, lawyers are finding it more hard to keep up with the changes. I don't know if many of you can relate, but the question now is, why are 83% of people stressed by work? What is it with work? And why are lawyers more prone to depression? That's a question that we're going to try to answer in the next couple of minutes. I have just 20 minutes. Why? Why is it that the legal profession tends towards anxiety, depression, substance abuse, overwhelm, and all of that? So before we go ahead, I want to share something about anxiety that you need to pay attention to carefully today. Anxiety often leads to heart conditions like cardiovascular diseases and many other health conditions. So it might sound like something that is so simple, anxiety, I'm just anxious, I'm terrified, I'm afraid, I'm overwhelmed. But these are subtle issues that create overwhelmingly health conditions for people. Burnout is life-threatening. People have slumped and died. You may have heard the story of Arianna Huffington, which was the founder of Huffington Post, who slumped and, in her office and broke a chin. And she woke up in the pool of her own blood, thinking she was shot, but nobody shot her. She had just passed out because of burnout. Now, the question is, why are we burning out? Why are we so anxious? Why are we so stressed? And particularly in the legal profession. So in being able to address, please excuse the typo here, in being able to address stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, I often come with one major perspective, which is understanding of life. If you do not understand life, you can't understand anything, because our work is a major part of our lives. So when I was talking with Mrs. Lai Babatunde a few days ago, she said she often, when she's in conversation with lawyers, she tells them, don't look at it as work-life, look at it as life-work. The whole popular work-life balance has been a thing now for so many years. But Auntie Joka says, I tell people, don't look at it as work before life, look at it as life before work. And I told her, I have a better perspective, so hold on, I'm going to share that better perspective today, and that's what I'm here to share with you. It is not work-life, it is not work-life or life-work, it is life. It is life. made up of a couple of components. Your work just happens to be one of the 6 categories of your life. Work is only one of them. Even though work is a significant, very, very significant part of your life, work is only one. You have your health, which is your physiology. I don't know if you can see my screen. You have your health, which is your physiology. You have your finance, which is your valuability, and I'm glad that the former deputy governor did a lot of justice on that. Your finance is your valuability. You also have your relationships, which have to do with your ability to socialize, whether those relationships are emotional, your family-based relationships, or social relationships, which is the relationships you build with the outer world. Then you also have your lifestyle, your ability to experience a level of stability. Then you have your psychology. Your mindset is your psychology. You have to take care of that as well. Many times people struggle with managing the demands of life because they don't have this simple model. So I developed this model after several years of working with busy professionals, business leaders, entrepreneurs, team leaders, managers who are tired. They're like, Jesmine, I don't know if I'm a good mom. I think I'm a horrible husband. I think I'm a bad wife. I'm not taking care of my family. I think that I'm not, managing my spirituality. Okay, they complain. And I realized, why are people struggling? And I said, if they had a simple framework to make them look at their lives in a very streamlined way, maybe their lives would be easier. So this is what I present. I ask my clients during every coaching session, how are you doing with your psychology? Did you do some mental exercises today? How are you doing with your physiology? Did you sleep enough? Did you eat right? Did you exercise? Did you get some activity going on? How about your stability? How are you planning your life? I know, we all love the good life. Like, Otunba Femi Pedro was saying, we want to travel. We want to have exotic experiences. We want to, drive very good cars. We want to do that. But if you're doing that at the expense of your relationships, if you're doing that at the expense of your finance, of your valuability, of what use is it? So we ask all these questions. How stable is your lifestyle? Are you managing all of the parts of your life effectively without being influenced negatively by outside forces? So what I want you lawyers to fully understand, if there's nothing else to take away from my session today, is to grasp the idea of the life harmony wheel. Understand that your work is only one category. There are categories of your life that must be integrated. Because the mistake I've seen people make is to say, you know what, I'm very ambitious. I love my work. I'm passionate. I don't care much about relationships. Well, if you neglect your relationships, it will impact your work. The way that the creator designed you, he designed you to function in all of these categories. You were not designed to function only in one area and be great at work. You will struggle. Some things will give. So you need to find a way to plan so that as much as I'm winning in my work, my psychology is also taken care of. My relationships, if I have a family, if I have a spouse and children, I have to cater to those. So this is the basics I want us to grasp today. Having the life harmony mindset. It's no longer work-life balance or life-work, whatever. It is life harmony. Everything must be harmonized. Everything must be integrated. My work shouldn't suffer at the expense of my health, or my health shouldn't suffer at the expense of my work, and all of this formula. This is just an overview. When in my coaching sessions, in my teachings, in my workshops, I take a deep dive into this. I don't want to spend so much time on this. I want us to go to the next thing that we must understand in order for us to, the goal, the goal for this session is to help you learn to manage stress, learn to manage anxiety, stress, overwhelm, and depression. That's what the goal of my session is today. The next thing is understanding work. So now we figured out that our lives are made up of 6 categories. Work is just one of them. And as a lawyer, you know that your legal practice has to do with your work. Now, why work? Because work is a very significant part of all of those 6 components. Work is how you express your value as a human being. Every human being carries value. And I want to introduce you to a powerful and innovative and effective work philosophy. Permit me to bring to your attention today that many of our global population have the wrong philosophy of work, And once you go about life with wrong philosophies, you struggle. Once you do not have the right philosophy, the philosophy is your mental construct. If you do not have the right philosophy, you will struggle. No matter how lucrative a profession you find yourself in, no matter how well-paying that business you find, if your work philosophy, if your mental constructs are not right, you will still struggle. That's why you wonder, how come somebody who's so successful becomes suicidal? How does somebody earn so much money, live a very good life, live comfortably, live in the choicest parts of town, but they still are suicidal, or they're depressed, or they're anxious? What is the problem? Here is the problem. They carry the wrong philosophy of work. Now we're going to break down what work is. And once you go about your daily activities with this philosophy, you are empowered to be the best and to reduce your stress and overwhelm. Here, on this slide, you see some 3 elements at the top. You see problem, you see purpose, and you see prosperity. Those are what work should be about. I call them the high-level consciousness of work. If you're going to work because I want to solve a problem, I want to serve a purpose, I know my life has value, and that value that my life has must be expressed in exchange of value with somebody else. That's my purpose. Once you understand there's a problem in the world, look at our world. There are myriads of problems, from economic to socio-economic to political to environmental to technological. There are tons of problems that the legal profession can solve. So the first mindset you want to have is the mindset of the problem that I am equipped to address. Then the second one is my purpose. What is the value that I carry within that I can use in exchange of value to somebody else? Then the last one is I must prosper. There must be prosperity from my work. My work is not here for me to play around. And my work must prosper me and prosper somebody else. So if I do my work with this level of awareness, I am doing it from a place of calm and less stress and more thriving, more flourishing, more abundance. Now let's look at the bottom here. This is the low level awareness. This is where majority of our population reside. They go to work for position. First of all, they go to work for the paycheck. They want the paycheck. I just need to pay the bills. I need to put food on my table. They go to work for position, and they go to work for power. So that is a low level awareness. And if you look in our world, you can see that there's a cry, there's an outcry. You know, there's global overwhelm because human beings are beginning to be exposed to their limitations. There's this cry for more meaning. Why should I be in a law practice? Well, I mean, this is not the days where when you ask children at school, what do you want to be? You would hear lawyer, engineer, doctor. You know, this time they tell you, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be, I want to be an influencer. The professions that they are choosing these days are different. You know, that happens because of the changes in our times. However, I still believe strongly that lawyers are here to be a part of the solution that our world needs. And if lawyers can go with this mindset, they can reduce their stress level. Now, let me break down this work philosophy for you. I use this for young professionals. I also use this for current established professionals. You as a professional must see yourself as a primary piece of work because you're the person who carries the value. Don't go into the law practice because the law practice has money. Go into law practice because I carry so much value. There's potentials within me that can be used in solving a problem that can now create prosperity for myself and for somebody else. So have that understanding that as the person, you are the value carrier. Professions don't carry value. Industries don't carry value. Markets don't carry value. Human beings carry value. They bring their value to the marketplace. They bring their value to an industry. They bring their value to the practice in problem solving. So understand that you as a person, as a lawyer, you have the value within you. Then also, like, Otunba Femi Pedro talks about passion. Have the passion, that intrinsic drive for the work that you do, that intrinsic drive that wakes you up every morning to serve the problem of our humanity. You must have that because without passion, your performance will struggle. And when your performance struggles, you will deal with stress and overwhelm. I know what the nature of your work looks like. I'm not a lawyer. I've never been friends with, I've been friends with a couple, but I'm not close friends with lawyers. So I don't know the nature fully, but based on my study, I know that you guys deal with a lot of deadlines, a lot of pressure from clients demanding that you meet their needs, you take their calls, you answer their emails. It's just too much going on. So you have to keep up with long hours as well. A lawyer can be called up in the middle of any time to address an issue. So all of that can be stressful. If there's passion, passion helps you to mitigate against that stress. So passion gives you, it drives you, it gives you that intrinsic drive to get up and do the work. Then purpose, please make sure that you are not just serving for the money, you are serving to create value for somebody else. That gives you a sense of fulfillment. Nothing else can give you. Then as lawyers, you must also keep up-leveling your knowledge. You must keep understanding the new trends in the market. Like I said, the landscape for professions have changed. When I talk to professionals, I also encourage them to see themselves as leaders in business, because business is about exchange of value. So whether you're a professional or whether you're an entrepreneur, you are in the business of exchanging your value with somebody else. So if you are a professional, it's good to also have that concept, so that, because the entrepreneur is always forward in their creativity. They are forward in thinking of new ways to do old things. You know, when I was talking with somebody who's a lawyer, she said, you know, the thing I don't like about the law profession is we're stuck in our old ways. We don't reinvent, we don't do new things, we don't create, we don't look at the ways that we've practiced, we've done this practice and look for better ways to do it. We're always stuck in our old ways. I don't know if you all can relate, but if you notice that that is the practice within your own area, then you have to challenge the status quo. You have to find new ways to do old things. Are there ways that can make your job faster, that can make you respond to your clients faster? Then do that. Another way to reduce your stress is to have long-term thinking. So look at the possibilities within your field. I mean, the legal field is incredible. I respect lawyers a lot, the learned folks. I respect them a lot, because you have many problems that you all can solve, many problems. So look at the possibilities of the new industries that you can create, the new markets that you can serve to create more value. Then always have prosperity at the back of your mind. Now let's go to, in understanding the life and money wheel and in applying the right work philosophy, the belief will help you. The primary reason that many people are overwhelmed, stressed, and anxious, burnt out, is because they carry the wrong notions and ideas. So if you have the best profession, like I said, but have the wrong ideas, you will still struggle. But somebody who doesn't have a seemingly lucrative profession will be thriving. They will be the best parents, the best spouses, and the best in all of they will be looking well in their bodies, in their health, and you'll be wondering why. So think of resolving any unhealthy psychological notions that you have, any belief systems that you have that is not serving you. You know, try and get rid of them. One of the ones I realized is that you might be dealing with is thinking that I have to have a certain type of personality to fit into a certain type of practice. I have to be an outspoken, maybe very assertive, very confrontational person to survive, to thrive as a lawyer. So if I'm introverted, if I'm a quieter person, if I'm calmer, if I process things internally, if I'm sensitive, and I see the other lawyers who are very outspoken, I start feeling like I'm not good enough. So once you have all of those belief systems going on, they will impact your work. They will impact your ability to create value. You must know that we carry different personality components. So understand your profiling as a lawyer. Be very aware. Know that you're introverted and don't try to change. If you're introverted, embrace your introversion, love it, and serve from that place. Don't try to be outspoken. Don't try to mimic another lawyer because they sound this way, because they confront this way, because they, I don't know those terms you use when you're in court. If the lawyer says it this way, I want to say it that way. That can also cause stress for you. Understand your personality traits and stay in that place and just elevate yourself. Another thing that can stress you in any profession is not being willing to change fast. So COVID-19 happened and disrupted a lot of things. Now we're doing this presentation and we're using technology. Change is constant. Change is a constant thing in our humanity. So embrace change and understand that change is here for your good. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about something when it comes to our health that we must pay attention to. Please, lawyers, sleep. Lawyers, please sleep. Sleep and sleep like a baby. 1 in 3 adults don't get enough sleep. This is the #1 health activity. There's a lot going on in your nervous system when you are sleeping. Your body is rejuvenating itself. It is creating hormones to help you thrive during the day. How often do you sleep well? So try to get an average of 8 hours of sleep daily. I mean, I think I'm trying to imagine the average age of everybody here. 7 to 8 hours should be okay. Sleep is one of the best things that can happen to you, and not just anyhow sleep. So sleep has different grades. There are different qualities of sleep. Some of us think we're sleeping. If you have to wake up, if you're having interrupted sleep, you are not sleeping right, because sleep has to go from what is called the REM to the non-REM, non-rapid eye movement. Make sure that you're having the full, turn off your mobile devices, turn off your entertainment devices. If you can, do not put entertainment in the place where you sleep. Your TVs and all, take them away from your sleep location so that you can enjoy the full dose of sleep. So if it's 7 hours, get it fully. It will help your body create the hormones you need to thrive for that day. That's why sleep is a daily thing. Your body will, the way your body was designed, it will shut down. So if you are fighting the sleep, you are fighting nature. And you know what it's like when we fight nature. I mean, all of us know that. Nature cannot be fought. Nature must be complied with. So we must comply when it comes to sleep. Please sleep right. Please sleep right. Sleep does a lot to your body. Another thing that I want to focus on is please manage your habits, lawyers. Please manage your habits. Please, shall I just wave me, give me a signal if my time is like 2 minutes to go? Okay. So manage your habits, lawyers. Please understand the habits that you need to practice for all the 6 categories of your life. If you need to improve on your relationship habits, please do that. Go take communication classes. Go take empathy classes. Be more, show more empathy to the people in your relationships. When you apply the right approaches to your relationships, to your health, they will play out in your work. You will show up as a more composed lawyer. When you are addressing your clients, they will see you in a good light. I saw one video on social media, I think it was on Instagram, that puts Nigerian lawyers in a very annoying light. I didn't like that video at all. They were comparing Nigerian lawyers to lawyers abroad, right? To foreign lawyers. And I didn't like the representation. I'm like, no, I know Nigerian lawyers were better than this. So we have to change that narrative that Nigerian lawyers are aggressive. They're easily, what's the word I'm looking for? They're easily irritable. They always, throw tantrums at their clients. So we have to watch our habits. We have the right mental habits. Sometimes take a break, do some spiritual exercise. I am a Christian. For those of you who are not, make sure that you incorporate spirituality, because your essence is spiritual. I tell people, your essence is spiritual. You're primarily a spiritual being. So with your work, what you're doing is taking your essence, processing it in your mental state, and serving it with your body. Your body is what is your representation in this world of matter. But we are not matter. Human beings are not primarily matter. We're primarily spiritual. We're primarily energetic. So we carry energy in the form of spirit. So the spirit is your essence. What you do in your work is to serve that essence to another human being. So you must also understand those 3-dimensional layers of our humanity: the mind, the body, and the spirit. So please develop the right habits across all areas of your life. Sleep right, eat right, practice the right work habits. I'm going to share some of them before I quickly run off here. Another thing I want to mention is also understanding the dimension of your resources as a lawyer. So your resource is not just money and time. Your resource is also your attention and energy. So be careful what you're giving your attention to. For me, I streamline a lot. I don't follow a lot of people on social media. I block easily. I unfollow easily, because if I watch something, even if it's something that's entertaining, I have given my attention to that thing. I have poured out some part of my human resource, which is my energy, into that thing, and it will impact my work. So if it's not something that adds value to my work or my life, I try to, dissociate myself from it. So manage your resources. This is called the STEAM framework. So your resources is represented by the acronym STEAM: your space, your time, your energy, your attention, and your money. But when we say resource in a physical world, people often go money, money, money. How am I spending my money? You forget that how you spend your time and your energy and attention will impact how you spend your money. So be careful with all forms of your resources, even your physical space. If you have items of possession that are no longer adding value to you, get rid of them. You can sell them, you can donate them, you can give them up. Make sure that your physical space is enabling for you to thrive. Because if there are things in your space that don't add value, They will impact your energy. They will impact your time. You can see the arrows here, they go because all of these resources are integrated. If you're not taking care of your space, it will create chaos with your time. It will create chaos with your energy and attention, then you will end up being stressed. And I do not want that for you. And I want to quickly share another model here, because these are life harmony models that I designed and I use in my practice for my clients. I'm going to quickly share this one before we go. Lawyers, please understand the value you carry and the what I call the circle of your obligations. You are primarily obligated to yourself. Look at it here, number one. You are primarily obligated to yourself, so take care of yourself. The principle of individual first, we use it when we fly. When you're flying an aircraft and they're giving you the instructions for safety and emergency, they will tell you, secure yourself before you try to secure somebody else. So take care of yourself first. Then when you're sure that yourself is well taken care of, then take care of the next people around you, which is your group. You have your family. So you must take care of yourself before you can be the best daddy and the best mommy. You have to be the best Jesmine. I have to be the best Jesmine before I can be the best daddy. Then you now come to the place of your community. You have a community. For me, I live in Canada. I align myself with a religious community because I'm a Christian. So I connect with the body of Christians globally. I also connect with the Black people. I am Black, so I connect to people who look like me. But lawyers, you must understand that your highest self is your ecological self. You are a valuable member of society, and you must take care of the largest society. So draw your circles larger than you. Start with you first, then be the best person in your smallest group, then go to your community. Find a community. Your community could be the community of lawyers globally. That could be a community. Serve that community. Look for what lawyers are struggling with and think of how to address that need. Then think of the largest society. You must be a valuable member of larger society. That should be the goal. When you're thinking of your impact, of who you are as a human being, you must always think of the larger society. Because I've seen where people are great community leaders, but very, very bad parents. It does not apply. So you must start with you, go to your group. You must be a great dad before you want to be a great community leader, before you want to lead a business, before you want to lead a team, you want to lead a group, you want to lead a larger circle of people. You are first responsible to your family. You're first responsible to the people in your immediate circle. So this is your circle of influence. In closing, I want to say that also reduce stress with your thinking process. So as a lawyer, I know there's a lot of things. You guys solve complex problems. You have to think on your feet sometimes. If you're in the law, for those of you who go to court, if you're the other lawyer or the opponent says something, you have to immediately think of how to counter that. You know, there are many things that that will have to make you think too much. Think critically. So I want to encourage you to improve your decision making. How can you do that? Read. Reading is a great way to do that. Then developing mental models. Mental models, I can't cover that here. I do that in my one-on-one practice when I coach or when I train one-on-one. Develop mental models that help decision making become so fast for you. One of the mental models I just showed you is the framework, the life harmony framework. And this impact framework I shared with you. So develop mental models that make you think on your feet, because decisions you make in this instance can impact your life 10 years from now. So in your decision making, before you say yes to anything, you say yes to an invitation, you say yes to, an opportunity, think. You have to put on your thinking cap. What's the value? Is this going to help me ultimately become a valuable member of society? How is this going to add to my individuality? Is it going to serve me in my well-being, in my health, in my finances? Is it going to serve my family? You have to think about that before you make that decision. So decision making is a great tool to help you as a professional who's busy reduce your stress level. So look for the mental models. I teach a couple of them in my practice. Do I still have time?
No. You've completely run out of time. But thank you so much. It's a very important topic, and that's why I just let you go on. Because, like you rightly said, health is wealth, and we need to hear this. A lot of people were chuckling when you said lawyers should sleep. We don't get enough sleep, and that's our life. Well, thank you so much. We needed to hear this. Thank you so much. Please stick with us.